Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you the new Charlotte Tilbury highlighter. This is the Holiday 2020 highlighter and this is the Hollywood Superstar Glow highlighter, which is for face and body, a soft focused glow. So this is going to be only a first impression review because I haven't used and I didn't have time to use this highlighter. It just arrived and I wanted to show it to you immediately. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm also going to show you how this applies on my face and I'm going to give you also some comparison swatches. If that's your first time on this channel, a very warm welcome. I'm Angela and I love talking about luxury beauty and fragrances. Please make sure to subscribe and don't forget to turn the notification bell on so that you don't miss any future videos. Also leave me a comment so I can say hi. Okay guys, so this is how the packaging looks. And it's very similar. As you can see, the packaging is very similar to the Holiday palette of Charlotte Tilbury, Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize, which I already did a first impression review. I don't know why this year Charlotte Tilbury's holiday makeup collection is dropping like in portions. 2 days ago she released her holiday eyeshadow palette and now she released the holiday highlighter, and you can see that the packaging is actually very similar. Obviously they are part of the same holiday makeup collection. Excuse my nails, by the way, I just didn't have the time to fix them. So here is the packaging of the highlighter, and also here is the packaging of the eyeshadow palette. As you can see, they are similar, whereas this is not exactly the same. But let's go ahead and open the highlighter. And this is natural light now. I am sitting close to the window and the weather is a little bit cloudy today, but not too much. So I hope that you're going to get a very realistic idea on how this highlighter looks. Now, first of all, when I open this, it looks like a pale bronzer to me and it looks very subtle. So it says Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter and the ultimate face and body highlighter for soft glow. Definitely this is going to be a soft glow effect because take a closer look. I haven't swatched it, but I can see that this is not going to be very glittery, and I can see that this is going to be a very subtle highlighter. Probably it's going to be a little bit dark for my skin tone. Let's go ahead and swatch this now. Okay, so here is how the highlighter looks. Now, as I swatch it on my finger, it doesn't look that dark, but let's go ahead and see. Now you can see that it's not as dark, it doesn't look very dark, but probably for someone who has pale skin tone. I have a bit of a tan, by the way, because it's the end of the summer and I'm a lot darker than I would usually be in the winter. But as you can see, this has a very subtle glow. I don't think that I can use this, and I'm not tempted to use this highlighter as eyeshadow, which is what I would normally do with all my highlighters. I love using them on the eyes. It is quite subtle and I don't think that it's going to look good as eyeshadow. But let me go ahead and give you a good close-up. It's not going to be anything too glowy or too glittery. And imagine that I'm swatching this with finger. Now let me go ahead and do one more time. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't become more intense, so this is going to be definitely a subtle glow, exactly what she says. The ultimate face and body highlighter for a soft focus glow. So let me go ahead and swatch a few other highlighters just to compare. So I'm going to swatch two of the Guerlain highlighters. I'm going to swatch now this one and this one, these two highlighters. I'm going to swatch them just to show you how it compares. So let me swatch the Amber first. So this is the Amber highlighter from the Guerlain Summer palette, and as you can see, the glow of this one is even more muted. I love using this highlighter of Guerlain, by the way. I love using it on my eyes, but as you can see, the colors... Let me give you a close-up. So as you can see, the Guerlain highlighter is even more subtle. So this one is definitely, the Charlotte Tilbury is definitely going to show up on the face. Now let's swatch also, I'm going to swatch also this shade here, which is the pink one, just to show you. So the Guerlain highlighter, this one is more peachy, whereas this one is more kind of a bronzy, a little bit bronzy champagne color. But okay, now let me give you again close-ups. Okay guys, so check this out. I was expecting that this bronzer, now looking at the color that's in the pan, I was expecting this bronzer to be actually a lot darker than it appears. Now let's go ahead and see how this is going to show on my face. Okay guys, and now let's go ahead and try this on my face. It looks quite dark here in the pan, but on the swatch it looked quite good. Now let's go ahead and see. Now I'm very easily picking this with the brush, and you can see that it's a little bit powdery in terms of formulation. So actually it looks quite natural. Now I was expecting that this is going to look a lot darker, so sorry for this spot here. I just touched my face with eyeshadow, so it looks a little bit dark, but that's just eyeshadow. Now let me add some more to see how this is going to look. Okay, so guys, actually this gives me a very subtle, very beautiful glow, and now I'm not sure how this is going to look on camera, but as I'm looking at myself, it looks a little bit yellowish, and kind of this color. So it's not exactly super natural. In natural light, and as I tilt my head like that, I can see the color of the highlighter actually. I don't think that this is going to show on camera. I think that on camera this is going to look absolutely fabulous. And it does look good actually. I'm quite happy with the result, but it does give me a little bit of a dark shadow, if you know what I mean. It does look a little bit dark on my skin. So I'm sure that this highlighter is going to look a lot more beautiful and a lot more flattering on someone who has medium light skin tone to medium skin tone, or just if you're not that fair as me. You can still use it if you have pale skin like me, but you can see that the glow is very good. It is very subtle. It is nothing too extravagant. But at the same time, it does look like a highlighter. Now as the mirror is right in front of me, as I look at myself, I can see a little bit of a shadow here and here. So if you're a little bit darker than me, a little bit warmer, I think this is going to be the perfect, super sophisticated, amazing highlighter. But for me personally, I know that I'm not going to be using this highlighter very often. Probably right here on the collarbones, probably for the body highlighter, this is going to be absolutely fabulous. I know I'm going to use this for a body highlighter, but for face, I prefer to have something a little bit more pale, probably, yeah, definitely a little bit more pale. And this new highlighter actually looks a little similar to this Tom Ford highlighter from the Red Harness palette. So I'm going to swatch the two together and show you the difference. Now this highlighter from the Red Harness is again a little bit dark for me, but not too much. I mean, a lot of people would like this kind of look and would not notice that. I just prefer to have something that is a lot more natural. Yeah, they are similar, but actually the Tom Ford highlighter is even darker. So this is the Tom Ford highlighter on my index finger, and on my middle finger is the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter. And let's go ahead and swatch them. So the Tom Ford and the Charlotte Tilbury. So this is the Tom Ford and Charlotte Tilbury. So now it's been 3 hours since I'm wearing the highlighter. As you can see, I also have a little bit of blush, and when I applied the blush, the highlighter actually blended in with the blush and it looks very natural. So I don't have this shadow anymore that I was seeing in the beginning when I only had the highlighter on. Now suddenly everything came together and it looks very beautiful. But one thing that I have to warn you about, and I'm gonna wear this highlighter for the next few days, and I'm going to come back and do a full review and update you. So one thing that I notice, I generally have good skin and I don't use a lot of foundation. I only use the Chanel Eau de Teint even when I'm filming. And one thing that I notice, you might probably have an issue if you have texture in the skin here, because this highlighter, it looks a bit powdery. And somehow I feel like it might actually tend to emphasize texture if you have texture around here. I have a feeling that this highlighter is going to emphasize texture a little bit, because I have a lot of highlighters and it just looks a bit more visible. I don't know if this is because my skin is very pale and this highlighter is actually a bit darker than my skin tone, but it might actually happen to emphasize texture a little bit. So just a warning, and I'm going to update you on this in a few days. Okay, so my final thoughts. This is only a first impression review and I'm definitely going to do a full review because I'm also currently using the Charlotte Tilbury 2020 Holiday Makeup Palette and I'm going to do a full review of this palette as well. So far, I am absolutely loving the Charlotte Tilbury Holiday 2020 eyeshadow palette. Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize. It's one of my favorite eyeshadow palette, and I realize that probably for a lot of people it's going to be a bit boring, especially if you have this kind of colors. Today I have it on my eyes, but for me it is the perfect eyeshadow palette because I don't have that many palettes of Charlotte Tilbury. About this highlighter, it is very subtle, it's very beautiful, and for the first time I like actually the packaging. You know, I usually complain about Charlotte Tilbury makeup packaging that it looks a little bit not great, but this one, actually I love this packaging. Even if you have very pale skin tone like me, as you can see, you can use it. But it all depends on you, what kind of highlighter. If you're on the market for this kind of a very subtle highlighter, you can use it even if you have pale skin tone like me. I don't have blusher, I don't have bronzer, I don't have anything but the highlighter. So make sure to subscribe, please give this video a big thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!